I'm going to assess one of my students' essays that is written for the academic module of the IELTS examination. So the question is, some people argue that air travel should be restricted due to pollution and excessive fuel consumption. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Okay, so this is an argumentative essay question. Okay, by default. Okay, that's the argumentative essay question. But we need to see what you have come across with. So you have started by writing the argument whether airline should be regulated, which is using too much diesel. And what is this? Sorry, this one. Can you tell me what this is?
Taint, sir.
So,
Pollution.
and taint,
Yes, sir.
and taint to
T-
environment. TAINT, is that the one? And
yes, sir.
taint to environment. Is that the full stop?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. No worries. Okay, the argument whether airlines should be regulated, which is using too much alcohol and train to environment. Okay, that's not a complete sentence. Okay, all right. Okay, so what you could have done is, okay, you would have written down the first sentence like this. The argument whether flights, air travel, you can say whether flights or operation of flights. Okay, you could have mentioned whether operation of flights needs to be um, restricted because of the environmental contamination. And what's the next one? Sorry. Yeah, excessive fuel consumption. Okay. And too much fuel intake. Okay. So you can say the argument whether operation of flights needs to be restricted because of the environmental contamination and too much fuel intake has been gathering momentum around the world. Okay, start writing down the background sentence this way. This is a very good sentence, isn't it? The argument whether operation of flights needs to be restricted because of the environmental contamination and too much fuel intake has been gathering momentum around the world.
Yes.
This is how you should have written down. Okay, so the sentence you have written down is only part. You didn't finish it fully. While many people disputed that, okay, this trend has more negative impacts, others believe that. And is that a full stop here?
Yes, sir.
No, you can't use while and then there is something. When you say while, then it's an incomplete sentence. You have to use the other part as well. Do you understand what I mean? So this sentence is incomplete. The sentence that starts with while is incomplete.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so would you like to take a middle position here? Would you like to discuss both the positive and negative effects first before providing your opinion? Yeah, I'm just asking you. So what did you do in your in your answer? So what did you do later? So did you discuss both of them, both the positive and negative effects, and then you have
Yes, sir.
given your opinion? So but the question is different. Okay, the question is, okay, some people argue that air travel should be restricted due to pollution and excessive fuel consumption. To what extent do you agree or disagree? I mean, do you agree with that or not? That's the question. Okay, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but this one, while many people disputed, you can't use disputed because many people disputed. That's in the past tense. You have to use many people argue or dispute. You should not use the past verb or the past participle verb when you are asked to, tell the trend. It's a current trend. Okay, so many people argue that this trend has more negative impacts, comma, others believe that. So impacts and then full stops. Okay, it must be impacts. Okay, and then there should be a comma. All right, it's not a full stop, comma, others believe that. There's a spelling mistake. Okay, but you have changed it, isn't it? You have corrected that, that's fine. While others believe that it has various positive. Okay, so the spelling mistake again. Positive doesn't have a double s, that's wrong.
Yes.
Positive is wrong. Okay, look at this, it changes, right, whenever I write it down. So positive is the one with the correct spelling. Okay, positive edges. Okay, you don't need to say edges, that doesn't look good. I mean, try to use formal words. Okay, don't say edges, it doesn't look like a formal letter, sorry, formal essay. You should have written on positive effects or positive outcomes or positive impacts. Okay, something like that. Both sides of this topic will be carefully analyzed before constructing an inference. So that's fine. That's okay with that. This sentence is all right. On one hand, aircrafts are one of the best mode of transportation because it is very convenient and time saving. Okay, that's all right. And then we can travel. Okay, don't use this small letter. It sounds like a small v, isn't it? But that's actually capital V. Okay, and what you should do is that you should avoid using the personal pronouns such as I, we, me, my, our, us, ours, you, yours, your. Sorry, one moment. And so on. Okay. All right. So you need to use this one only. So it's not correct. Okay. So we can travel long distance in few hours. Okay. All right. In addition, many countries earning money from tourism. Okay. Many countries. Okay. Countries earning money from tourism. Countries are earning money. Okay. Are earning money. Always verb plus ing needs an additional verb. You have to use either is, was, were, will be, something similar to that. Okay, you can't use, I mean, this verb plus ing doesn't go alone in a sentence. No, that's wrong. Okay, several business. So this is spelling mistake. You mentioned I here, but it must be business. Okay, that's correct. Okay. So let me write it down. Several. This is what you have written on. This is wrong. Several industries, and then you could have mentioned this one. So like such as, instead of writing like. Okay, it's better to use such as, because like is an informal phrase. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
It's an informal word. You have to use such as.
Okay, sir.
Like hotels and restaurant, is that leisure centers? Okay, leisure. Can you please tell me the spelling here?
Leisure.
Okay, that's good. But the way you have written it doesn't look like le, but
Yes, sir.
it looks like le. Yes, I and then you are you.
LUSI.
Yeah, that's wrong. Anyway, okay. The
Okay,
center are dependent
on tourist.
on tourists. That's good. For instance, there should be a comma after that. Okay.
For instance.
So you should say for instance, comma, sorry. That's what you do. For instance, comma Maldives. Can you please tell me the spelling? Maldives. Yeah.
Maldives.
Ves.
MA
Dives. Okay, that's all right.
MALDI
Yeah, that's okay.
DES.
But the problem with your spelling is that you have written on Maldives. Okay, that's all right. But the problem with this one is that it needs to start with a capital letter, but you have written on it using a small letter. All the countries,
Yes.
okay, all the countries and continents, okay, those things, the unique ones need to start with the capital letter only. Okay, remember that.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
All right,
Sure,
let's go to the next one. It's a small country, and it is mainly depend on. That's wrong. Okay, country, comma, it's mainly depend on. Okay, it is okay. Instead of that, you can say which is okay, and then
Just
is depend on. Is depend on can be changed to depends on. Sorry, depends on. Is depend on is incorrect. Depends on. Okay. I mean, what you could have done is here, Maldives, for instance, comma, Maldives is a small country which mainly depends on. Which is mainly depend on is wrong. Okay, depend on tourism, which mainly depends on tourism. So is mainly depend on. So what you could have done is you could have mentioned which mainly depends on. Okay, that's much better. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, it is all right. As a result, why it is seen as a positive trend,
beneficial.
but this is wrong. Beneficial trend, that's wrong. Okay, I will tell you why. Okay, as a result, after that you have to place a comma. As a result is a connecting phrase. Okay, so you have to place a comma after that. That's one mistake. And then the other thing is why it is seen as a positive beneficial trend. Okay, that's wrong. Why it is seen, you have to say as a result why it is seen. Okay, why it is, you have to say as a result it is clear why it is. So you have to add it is clear. As a result, it is clear why it is seen as a beneficial trend. And again, beneficial, it has spelling mistakes. Beneficial, okay, this is the correct one. Okay, but what you have written on is BENI. Okay, that's wrong. Beneficial trend is wrong. Okay, look at the way it changes. It's not BENI. Okay, it's BENE. Beneficial trend. Okay, that's what you have to do. All right. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, I'm going to open the next page. All right. However, comma, on the other hand, it is believed by many. There's a spelling mistake. Believe, okay, that's wrong. It's BELIVED. Okay, wait a minute. So it's BELIVED. That's wrong. It's actually BELIEVED.
Yes.
EVED. Okay. You can't commit these many mistakes. Okay, by certain people that airlines must be limited. Okay, good. The primary effect is that you don't need to place a comma after that. Is that comma? Remove the comma, please. Remove the comma, please. Okay. Is that it requires high amounts of propellant. Propellant. High amount of propellant. There's a spelling mistake. Propellant. Okay, propellant is incorrect. Must be propellant, but you could have used maybe, I think it's okay to use maybe fuels. Amount of fuel is okay. You don't need to use propellant. It should be huge high amounts of fuel. Okay, in addition, due to aviation. Okay, that's wrong. Capital due, that's wrong. In addition,
Yes.
comma, capital due. No, that's wrong. In addition, comma, small due. Okay, small letter. D must be in small letter. Okay. Due to aviation, aviation is okay. I think it's I, isn't it? TI. Am I right? That should be a comma.
Yes, TI
After that, there should be a comma. Okay. So you say due to
station.
aviation, and then it must be okay like this. Due to aviation, comma. You have to place a comma over there. It's not good. Okay. It release. Okay. It release toxic gases. No, it releases. It releases. It release. It always goes with the verb plus yes. Okay. It releases in the present tense. Okay. So you have to say it releases. All right. Let me go to the next one. It releases toxic gases such as carbon dioxide, nitrogen. That's good.
Such
Um,
as
yeah, such as. Oh, you didn't read. You have written on such only. That needs to be replaced with the such as. Yeah, you have committed several mistakes. Didn't you spend some time to proofread what you have written down? Finally, flights decrease the public transport sectors. Finally, you have to place a comma after that. All connecting phrases need a comma, okay, after them. Finally, flights decrease the public transport sectors. Decrease the public transport sector. I don't understand what you're saying.
usage of public transports. It's reduces.
Decrease the public transport system. You could have mentioned decrease the public sectors, isn't it? Transport sector, sorry.
Yes.
Transport sectors. It must be the use of public transport systems. Okay. Public transport systems. That's good. That's a good idea, actually. For example, again, for example, after that, you need a comma.
For example, yes.
I recommend you to watch the video where I have uploaded on my YouTube channel with the list of situations where you have to place commas. Okay. All right. When you watch that video, you'll be able to get to know more and more detailed information. Okay. All right. For example, comma traveling time between, and there is a comma, isn't it? That's not good. Okay. Between comma Madurai to, all right, let's see, comma Madurai to Chennai. Okay, you have used only the small letters which need to be avoided. This is wrong. Between comma small Madurai, small m is wrong. Madurai to small, you used a small c, which is not good. So you should have used between Madurai, capital Madurai, and capital Chenai. Okay, and then the other thing is, one is you need to remove the comma after between, and then the other is both Madurai and Chennai need to start with the capital letter. Okay, that's what the next mistake is. Okay, takes only traveling time between. Okay, takes only. No, travel takes only. Otherwise, traveling time is only 4 to 5 hours. Okay, so takes only is wrong. Is only. Takes only. Okay, is only. All right, traveling time is only. That's right. And then 4 to 5 hours through road or railway. Okay, all right. 4 to 5 hours. You should not use like this. You have to say 4 to 5 hours. 4 to 5 hours. It is even better to write down like this, 4 to 5 hours. Okay, I mean, you can write down in words. Okay, but the symbol, the hyphen symbol, should be avoided. Through road or railway, but some people, road or railway, but some, what is this? Some
Flocks. FLOK is
KS. Some
KS.
flocks. Okay.
P.
FLOK is, that is wrong. There is no word like flocks. Some people flock, isn't it? Is that what you're saying? Flock. Flock
Flock
means
means people.
some folks. That's folks. Is that what you want to say? But again, folks. Okay, some folks. Hello, folks. Hi, folks. How are you doing? That's what we say. But this is not good. You could have mentioned while some itself is okay. So remove this whole phrase. Remove this phrase. Okay, you don't need to use this because some itself means people. So you don't need to use some people, some folks, travel through aeroplane. Okay, that's all right. As a consequence, it is clear that this development has harmful effects. That's good. I'm very happy with the way that you have written on this paragraph. This paragraph is good. But the problem is you have committed several grammatical mistakes. Only the task achievement is good. You have come up with the really good ideas, but the problem is grammar, vocabulary, connectivity are very bad because you're not able to place the punctuation marks properly and things like that. So I'm not quite happy with the connectivity, vocabulary, and grammar. Okay, they need to be improved a lot. In summary, you need to place a comma here. I don't know why you are not doing this, please. In summary, after this, you need to place a comma. In summary, comma. Okay, that's what you have to do. Following the analysis of airways must be controlled because no, that's wrong. Following the analysis of airways must be controlled because of corruption. Is that corruption?
Yes, sir.
That's
Consumption.
Yeah, because of consumption of fuel intake. So that's wrong. This is wrong. And utilizing of energy resources. That's wrong.
Sir, pollution, I think, of corruption.
So you could have mentioned contamination or pollution. Okay, pollution should be okay. It's okay to mention pollution once again. Otherwise, you can use the polluting impacts or polluting effects. You can use verb plus ing instead of using the same phrase. Okay. In summary, comma following the analysis of. This is wrong. This is wrong. You should have used before airways. Okay, analysis of. Okay, I will tell you what I mean. Airways. You should have used analysis of both sides, comma. Okay, and then you should have written down whatever the airways or whatever they say. Okay, that's what you should have done. Okay, let me go through this. So analysis of airways. So you can say follow analysis of, and then you could have mentioned these ones, both sides, comma, airways must be controlled because of corruption and utilization. So in this case, because of corruption or whatever it is, or consumption, because of overconsumption. Okay, you can say, I believe it is. It sounds like corruption. Okay, but you could have mentioned consumption, overconsumption of. Okay, overconsumption of fuels. Okay, you could have added that. Overconsumption of energy resources, or you can say overconsumption of energy resources. And you don't need to use utilizing. Utilizing is wrong. Utilization or use of. Okay, utilizing is wrong. Yeah, so consumption, overconsumption of energy sources, that's okay. And utilizing, okay, overconsumption. You could have removed this, please. Remove this, please. Okay. Yeah, you could have removed that. All right. Further, it is clear that, okay, again, further, after further, you should have placed a comma, but you haven't done. Further comma. Without a comma, this one doesn't look correct from grammatical perspective. Further, it is clear that there are more merits and demerits. No, there are more merits than demerits. You have to come to a conclusion, isn't it? You can't say more merits and demerits. You have to say which one is more than the other. You have to say more merits then demerits, or more demerits than merits. Do you know what I mean? You have to come up with one position. You can't just write down both of them. That's not good. But for the recommendation to people using less, yeah, okay, you write down only one. Either you can write down the recommendation or the prediction. Do not write down both of them. Never ever do it, please. But for the recommendation to people using less vehicles and encouraging, again, this is an incorrect sentence. Okay, the final one.
Sir,
Okay. Yes.
before you say something, do not
Sorry.
write prediction and
No. You have to write.
recommendation. Sir.
You have to write down only one of them. I said, don't write both of them together for one essay. You have to write down only one of them. Either.
Oh, yes.
You can't use both of them. No, it's not good. That's what I told you. Okay.
I want to stop at merits and demerits. That's it, sir.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, with that it's okay. With that it's all right.
Okay,
Yeah, you can write down the introduction, recommendation, but I think that's all right. I think this is not. Oh yeah, that's the position, isn't it? That's the opinion. But you have
yeah, sir,
already,
opinion.
but you have already mentioned, your opinion. Like you have mentioned here, isn't it? Airways must be controlled because of corruption and utilization of energy sources. It is already mentioned your opinion. I don't know why you have written on this one again. But I think, yeah, okay, let me go through this. I think, yeah, you didn't. Okay, but further recommendation to people using less vehicles and agents and traveling. Okay, I think, yeah, this is again like after but you have to use yeah, you have to use the comma. Okay, but that's all right. I mean, you're writing, I think, too much. Did you count the number of words for this essay?
No, sir.
Do you know how to count the words? You also need to count the words. Try not to write too many words in your essay because you will not have enough time to complete them. Do you know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
That's one issue. And then the other issue is that you will not be able to you will be able to commit many more mistakes. Okay, because the more you write, the more mistakes you will commit. Okay, so it's better not to write down. So try to write between 270 and 280 words only for the essay. The way you need to count the number of words is like count the number of words in maybe 2 to 3 lines, and then multiply the average number of words with the total number of lines. That's it. For example, if you get 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then yeah, it's approximately, let's take maybe 6 or 7. Okay, maybe 7. Okay, or 6. Okay, when you count just 6. Okay, and then count the number of lines now. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, you just go through this. Okay, count them out and then multiply them using 7. Okay, the number of lines into the number of average words per line. That's it. And you'll get the approximate word count, which is more than enough. If you get more than 260 or 270, then that's all right. Okay,
Okay.
all good. Let me give you the feedback, the assessment on each parameter first before I give you the feedback. Okay, one is grammar. Grammar needs to be improved a lot. Okay, so what are the areas? The spelling mistakes, and then incorrect use of prepositions, articles, nouns, tenses, verbs, and punctuation marks needs to be addressed. So you need to address these problems. Okay, vocabulary could have been better with the use of more formal words. Try not to use informal words. Okay, all right. Okay, the next one is, all right, connectivity is okay. I mean, your connectivity isn't that bad. Is okay. All right. Task fulfillment could have been better. I think the way you have understood the question could have been better, because you have written on the advantages and disadvantages, and you didn't say whether you agree with it or disagree with it. Do you know what I mean? So your task achievement is below average. It's not that good. Okay, let me go through the expected score. To me, this sounds like okay, so you've committed so many mistakes, like more than 36, 37 mistakes. It's not good. And you know, most of the sentences are incomplete as well. I'm not happy with that. And then the spelling mistakes is another issue. It's not good at all. You have committed lots of spelling mistakes, and the use of capital and small letters also needs to be improved. Okay. All right, so you didn't know where to use of capital and small letters needs to be improved. Okay, I'll share with you, my YouTube videos, and then you can go through them, and you should be able to learn something new. Okay. All right, and try not to commit the mistakes. Okay. According to me, this one sounds like 5-band essay to me. Okay. I'm really strict as far as the assessment is concerned, but I think you didn't understand the question properly. It's like agreement and disagreement. So on one side, you could have agreed, and then on the next supporting paragraph, you could have written down the disagreement side. Do you know what I mean? You could have done that.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. No worries. Anyway, thank you so much. And we have got only 6 minutes to go through. Could you guys please join back if you don't mind?